Hey there, welcome to another week in the garden. I just did a bunch of planting, well, seed sowing. So we will be keeping an eye on all those seeds, but I'm also going to do a little pest control today. So I'm just gonna mix up a little Thuricide. I see that some of the Calibrachoas are getting, like, they must have some sort of budworm or something, so I'm just gonna mix up some of that. I got a fresh spray bottle out here. I'll get that going. Also, so many things are coming up. Look how good this bed is looking. We've got the salad bush cucumbers looking amazing. Everything's putting on their first set of leaves. I harvested some fresh strawberries the other day, and then over here we got the warty thing pumpkin coming up, and look how big this corn is getting. This broom corn looks huge. I don't know what it is about corn. I love it. It just makes me happy to see corn in the garden. I don't know, maybe it makes me feel like I have a little farm or something. And we got another thing coming up here, so that is fun to see some growth in this bed. I feel like, yeah, the containers are growing, they're getting big. One of my dahlias actually sprouted and is starting to come up here. So I'm kind of excited that we might actually get a dahlia bloom. That would be pretty cool. But I'm gonna go grab my Thuricide. Let's mix this up and spray the Calibrachoas. You can see. Oh, it's ants. Is it ants? There's an ant in there. No. Okay. Get my stuff. This is really good for like worms and stuff, and I know it'll work on budworms, and it works on like cabbage moths. I don't know if it'll work on this, but I think what the Thuricide is that it works when the animals, or the bugs eat it, like if they're ingesting the flowers. So whatever's eating it, hopefully that'll take care of it. Okay, I might need to put the camera down to mix this. It's funny moving to a new garden space, because in my last garden, of course, I knew all my pests. I knew kind of everything that I dealt with, and if something new turned up, it was, I don't know, it was just like within my realm of knowledge. But now in this new growing zone and everything, I don't know what anything is doing, but this looks good. Let's spray. And I'm spraying at a time right now where the pollinators aren't out, so they won't be bugged by this, and they also will not be eating the flowers of this plant. I think it might be ants. I don't know if Thuricide works on ants. I'm gonna have to do some research. It's funny too, because the orange ones don't seem to be bothered. We're just gonna spray them for good measure. You may have to get an ant specific. It's only on the Calibrachoas. Ants are something I never dealt with, really, in my last garden. I would get the cabbage moths, so many slugs and snails. Those were my biggest pests, but not really ants. I had a few ants, but they seem to leave the plants alone, so I don't know. But anyways, I feel like this is a good week in the garden. It's gonna be great, and the garden's starting to look so beautiful. Look at her, she looks like a garden. Don't mind the teapot. Right? It's starting. We're starting to get a garden. Look at all these tomatoes. I need to order my arch trellis, and I need to order some Slego Plus for my new in-ground planting. But yeah, look at these. These are the sun golds. They're getting covered with tomatoes, so I need to get my arch trellis so I can start tying them up. But this is very fun. Very exciting to see. Look how big this pumpkin seedling is. These are just the first little leaves. Oh my gosh, it's like as big as my hand. I'm already obsessed with this, and it hasn't even started growing. The warty thing pumpkin, oh my gosh, it's so big. Everything else in the garden is doing super well this week. I think one of the biggest standouts has got to be these pink cushion flowers. They are just so pretty. And even so, this is one that is dead now, Even that seed head is beautiful. I can't decide if I want to leave this on or like cut it and bring it inside and do like a little dried flower bouquet or something. But it's just so pretty, and this plant, of course, is just covered in blooms. That and they're just, everything's growing so well. So that's really exciting to see. Not too much else is going on out here so far this week, although this garden bed is just taking off. So you can just see by the day, the growth on everything is amazing. That is encouraging to see. And I'm just about, it's in the evening, I put on all my skincare, so I'm very shiny. I think I'm gonna pick a couple flowers to take inside into one of my bouquets, but I just watered these so they're falling over slightly. But this is the bishop's flower that's about to bloom. It's gonna look kind of like a Queen Anne's lace. You can already see it forming there. So it's gonna be kind of that like Queen Anne's lace-y sort of look. But isn't this bed fun? This bed is so wild. So one of the reasons it's kind of crazy in here is that this tumbler tomato, I stuck a tumbler tomato in here, which was probably like maybe a bad idea because it's a determinate style tomato. It doesn't get super big. It's supposed to kind of be for like a hanging basket, hence the tumbler name. But look how many flowers are on this tomato. Like, it's really happy. So I don't want to move it. It's looking really happy, and I don't think it's choking out too much. So there's another bishop's flower here. But the rest of them, like, they're getting really nice and tall. And then I also have some pincushion flower in here, which are blooming, and the milk thistle. Like, so everything's doing fine. The only things that I'm thinking about maybe pulling out because they can't hang with the wildness of this bed are the millet. They're growing, but they're just growing slowly. And I remember they did grow slowly last year, but I'm kind of wondering if this is like too slow, you know, if they're struggling. So I'm trying to decide if I should move those, but everything else is doing so great. I just love like the look of this. It's just crazy and green and full. And there's actually a bunch of green onions in here that I should come out and harvest. Like, everything in this bed is doing really well. I have to be careful of this milk thistle though. It is so sharp. Like these, every time I come in here, I poke myself. But there's also this is why can I not think of the name? Oh my gosh, I started these from seed. What is the name of them? If I remember it, I will stick it on the screen. But anyways, yeah, everything is competing pretty well. There are a couple zinnia seedlings that I put in here. They look healthy, so we'll see if they kind of grow. And I think the bishop flower is gonna be one that maybe grows and then fades out. I don't know if this is gonna make it all summer. We'll just see. But I think it's really pretty, and it's gotten so big and full. It's like, this is gonna be one that's gonna go on my list of things, you know, to repeat. Because it's so pretty. Really exciting. All right, to bring inside, I think I may pick a little bit of this Lunaria. Maybe just like, I need something that's kind of got a long stem. See if I need to get my clippers. Okay. I have like a little bud vase, and I just thought this would be a sweet little bud for the bud vase. And then I have a bigger vase, but I need something with a longer stem. I don't know if I want to pick one of the Cosmos. These are double Dutch rose. They're so beautiful. They make a really good cut flower, and I've cut a few of them with the shorter stems for my bud vase. But yeah, I don't know if I want to take a longer stem and take all the buds. I don't mind cutting flowers for my cutting garden, but I hate cutting off buds because it feels like, you know, we're losing so many flowers. Let me see over here. Here's a longer stem. Maybe I'll just stick with the bud vase for now. Hey, so I'm so excited right now. I just came out. It's kind of the middle of the day, so even though I need to water and fertilize today, I'm gonna wait till this evening. But I just saw that the Mystic Spire salvia is starting to actually fill out and fully flush out and bloom, which is really exciting to see. And I'm just loving this color combination. These two containers that have the blue salvias with the Super Bells creamsicle. Oh my gosh, they're just, it's like This is one of my favorite combinations I might ever have done. I've got to like write it down. I need to make some kind of a journal or something so I can like track these like really, really good combinations when I come up with them. I guess it's not super original to put orange with blue, but it still looks good. And here this guy's starting to open. And then just, yeah, like the blue with the orange, it's so good. It's just, it's so good. So, so good. Okay, I came out here too. One of the things I need to move. These guys that I got in the mail, they got too much sun. I need to get them over here in the shade because they are getting way too much sun and looking real rough. They're not dry, but they're just, I don't think they were quite hardened off enough to the sun. Actually, I'm gonna move the cucumber over here too, because you can see it's burning. I think the cucumber is gonna be okay, but obviously, as I said, I'm gonna water it. But yeah, it's like kind of singeing. I didn't really harden these off. One takeaway I'm having is definitely to remember if I ever order plants again from like online, to harden them off a little better, put them in the shade. I feel like I usually do that and I just completely spaced out and didn't even think to do that this time, and they're looking kind of bad, but that's mostly my fault for not doing that. As I'm out here, another little fun, exciting find. So these are my black from Tula tomatoes, and look, the first big, so this should be a big like beefsteaky kind of tomato, and it's so exciting to see this. These are the plants that I was a little worried that the leaves were kind of curling, but honestly they're doing okay. They're looking better the taller they get, the more they raise up out of the trough here, and they're setting some fruit. There's a big fasciated blossom. Look at this huge, like really huge fasciated blossom. Let's see if it's setting. I don't know if it actually got pollinated, but you know, always shake your tomatoes. But this is fun. This is really exciting to see that. A pretty egg stacky here. Yeah, good stuff. We're gonna have so many tomatoes soon. These Romas are about to be, you know, they're gonna ripen pretty soon here too. And look at all of these coming along. This is such a fun time in the garden because you have these first, fruit being set and sort of like everything starting. Of course, by the time we get later in the season, hopefully anyways, like the vines will be huge and this garden will be kind of looking a lot crazier. But even right now, it's just exciting. It's exciting to see it like kind of fill like this, I mean, I swear this was bigger than like when I started this video on Monday. Like, look how much bigger. That sunflower is growing, I swear, an inch every day. So now I need to start kind of managing a little bit here. This is the amaranth, which a bloom is coming on, which is exciting. And now I'm going to start letting this little coleus kind of get free. You know, right now it's pretty shaded out, but as these plants continue to grow, there's going to be more and more space for these like lower level plants. So right now it looks like they're encroaching a little bit, but you know, the sunflower is going to keep growing up, and then we can clear out some of the lower leaves and it'll all kind of adjust again, and I think it'll end up being just fine. But so good. It's definitely hard with this move not to have a few bittersweet kind of feelings. Like my other garden was I've been gardening it for a few years, so it had become really established and had this sort of like fullness and this lushness. And to me, this garden still feels pretty stark and kind of like sort of empty sometimes. But I'm already planning, like I have so many plans for my next garden. I'm so excited to start fresh again, and so I'm just trying to embrace this, and I know it's going to get really wild. We just need to get a little further along in the season before everything really takes off, and then, you know, hopefully we'll just have vining things, and hopefully that pumpkin just goes crazy. So yeah, it's hard at this time of year for the garden not to feel like slightly empty, kind of open. Definitely I'm missing my old garden a little bit. I think I am going to do a few more containers. I've got some ideas. I might do some more from seed, you know, so I'm thinking now, of course, I started this and I was like, I'm not gonna do too many containers. And now I'm over here like, I gotta add more containers. But I just love a chaotic garden. And we're still too empty. But anyways, I think that's gonna be probably all for this week. I will check back in with you next week, and of course we'll have lots more projects and stuff. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.